From the Metro Traffic Center, next report 11:18. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
And we have breaking news from Vatican City, where white smoke is pouring from the chimney of the Sistine Chapel, signaling a pope has been elected to lead the Catholic Church. Once again, white smoke pouring from the Sistine Chapel, signaling that the conclave of the College of Cardinals has voted to elect a new pope to lead the Catholic Church, the successor to Pope Francis. The bells are pealing in Vatican City. We're at 6:09 p.m. local time. We will have much more on this story throughout the afternoon right here on WBBM, where once again, white smoke pouring from the Sistine Chapel chimney, signaling a pope has been elected to lead the Catholic Church.
CBS News special report. There's a new pope. Reaction in St. Peter's Square moments ago. Thousands cheering when white smoke emerged from the chimney at the Vatican Sistine Chapel. CBS's Maurice Dubois.
We're not going to know exactly who it is right away.
It's 12:15, and we can break some news on WBBM. The identity of the new pope is known. Cardinal Robert Prevost, a native of Chicago, is the new pope elected by the College of Cardinals, also the first American pope in the history of the Catholic Church. We will have much more coming up in a CBS News special report coming up at 12:20. But the next pope is an American, Cardinal Robert Prevost, a native of Chicago, the next leader of the Catholic Church. Catholics are gathering at Holy Name Cathedral in Chicago to celebrate the announcement of a native-born pope. Terry Keshner is there and joins us live with the latest.
Yeah, Rob, the faithful and the media forming a crowd here outside Holy Name Cathedral on the 700 block of North State Street. Word has been spreading quickly that Robert Prevost, a native of Chicago, is now the first American pope. Matthew Stefanski is sitting in the sun of the steps, on the steps outside Holy Name Cathedral.
I think it's great. I mean, we get a pope before we get a 4,000-yard passer. That's excellent. No, it was not expected. The favorite was Italian, and no one thought it would be an American. Good thing is he's 69, so he's going to be around for 15, 20 years.
And of course, it's Chicago, so there is a Bears reference. The crowd growing here, and the Chicago Archdiocese is expected to speak shortly. Reporting live outside Holy Name Cathedral, Terry Keshner, 105.9 WBBM.
President Trump is hailing the election of an American pope. Mr. Trump calls it a great honor for the U.S., saying that he's surprised and happy with the selection.
CBS News special report.
Habemus Papam.
Habemus Papa, we have a pope, I'll say.
An American pope? Whoever expected that?
Chicago's Cardinal Blaise Cupich just spoke during the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops news conference at the Vatican. Cupich and the other bishops just elected Chicago-native Robert Prevost to be the next pope, Leo XIV. Cupich talked about the significance of the pontiff's new name.
Picking the name Leo is indicative, I think, of the direction he wants to take. The great reformer, he was the first modern pope that we've had after Pius IX, who wrote stirringly about the rights of workers, of immigrants, of those who were living at the margins of society.
The Pope's childhood home in South suburban Dolton has been drawing people stopping by for pictures, talking with neighbors after the shock of learning of the home's history. The details from WBBM's Mike Krauser.
There's a cross outside the small brick house here on 141st Street and pictures of people lost to violence placed by a neighbor. Kareem Davis lives next door.
What did you think when you heard this?
I almost passed out twice. Because to be living next to the Pope, that's real serious. God been here all this time and we couldn't see it.
His wife, Donna. What was your reaction? I mean, your husband said he almost passed out.
Oh, yeah, my husband definitely. He was the first to say, hey, look, this is bringing hope to our community. You know, definitely it's been a blessing, you know, to find that information out.
She said this was a drug house at one time. It was recently rehabbed. It's vacant right now. In Dolton, Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Mayor Brandon Johnson says he's thrilled that a Chicago area native is now the Pope.
Mayor Johnson tells WBBM the selection of Cardinal Robert Prevost as Pope is one of the most exciting things that has happened for the people of Chicago. Born in Chicago, he says, returned to Chicago, was educated in Chicago. The mayor says Pope Leo XIV represents the core tenets of our faith.
This Pope's vision for the globe is one that aligns with my faith. He comes from a deep deep level of appreciation for workers' rights. And as someone who is a part of the labor movement, I couldn't be more thrilled to have the type of Chicago representation that will, help crystallize our hope and aspirations and our faith around the world.
Mayor Johnson talks about the highs and lows of his first 2 years in office on our At Issue program this weekend, and you can hear a lot more Sunday at 9:30 a.m. and 9:30 p.m. At City Hall, Craig Dellamore, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
We're hearing from people in Chicago who knew Pope Leo XIV long before he became one of the world's most visible religious leaders.
The man who is now Pope earned a Master's of Divinity at the Catholic Theological Union in the Hyde Park neighborhood in 1982. Sister Barbara Reed is the president of the union and says what the Pope learned there and from the South Side will serve him well at the Vatican.
I'm sure Pope Leo XIV, when he was Bob, imbibed the ethos of attending to those around you, especially those most in need, and in a city setting that has such diversity, and learning to hear perspectives from so many different angles.
Terry Keschner, 105.9 WBBM.
Fans of the new Pope are simply excited Chicagoans can head to a North Suburban bakery for a tasty tribute to him.
When Venison's owner Jory Downer learned the new Pope was from the Chicago area, he put his best cookie baker on the case.
When I heard that he was elected, I was in another location, and I called right away. I said, don't let Hector go. You got to get the cookies printed, get him in the store. Let's go.
They sold out of the first 2 dozen made yesterday and have restocked while selling some online and in the store here at Davis and Maple. Supervisor Jennifer Fournier describes the cookies.
So it's a sugar cookie with an edible image on top that's made out of rice paper.
Pope Leo XIV is not the first celebrity Benison's has enshrined on a cookie. The bakery has made some with Taylor Swift and even had one to celebrate the solar eclipse last year. In Evanston, Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.